Welcome to the Hermitcraft recap. My name is Pixelriffs. Our writer is LoyXP. Captions on this video were provided by Liara. As is traditional, we want to point in the general direction of the Life series, particularly since it may explain why some of the hermits will be sporadically uploading actual Hermitcraft and therefore sporadically featured in the recap. This time it's past life and takes place on older versions of Minecraft, and much like the past itself, we don't plan to talk about it except to acknowledge its existence.
Gremlin energy, let's go!
Meanwhile, on Ghast life, which is what the hermits have been living, balloons, basketball, tennis, and of course, the Batangler. So without further ado, let's take a look at all the events and mishaps that occurred on the Hermitcraft server this week. Starting with Pearlescent Moon, whose Solarpunk base gets the happiest of weather balloons.
This is cute. This is my little guy. I'm gonna have to make a place for him to, sit, you know?
Discovering a stray Ghast hovering nearby, Pearl harnesses it before heading to the Nether to play the old-school version of Ghast Tennis for the new music disc, mostly so she can add it to the repertoire of the Ballroom Orchestra. Back in the overworld, she finds her new Happy Ghast can carry Enderman to new and exciting heights, but after dropping it off in the river, she decides to go trawling for Guardians instead. She does get a little lasered in the process, but the true reward is dropping it off attached to a lamppost in Good Times with Scar's zoo project.
The Ghast is on there. It's alive. I need to leave before I die.
By that time, the server's Happy Ghast population is well and truly out of control, so Pearl teams up with Rendog, False Symmetry, and Azuma to leave bunches of balloons in a few key locations. Pearl herself is happy to rehome some of them though, time-lapsing a new hillside Ghast aviary that looks a bit like a Gachapon machine, a Ghastapon machine if you will, and moves her own personal Ghast into these cozy new surroundings.
They can be comfortable, you know? Just ignore the ones that are on the roof.
Joel Smallish Beans takes stock of the billboards his server mates provided for his base and approves of the Skizzleman Giraffe one despite the past trauma.
Adds a bit of character to the base. That's hilarious.
The Happy Ghasts reach him as well, mostly from Impulse SV's side, and Joel pockets one for personal use from the Apocalypse City as well. Joel being Joel, he also makes a fan cam car edit of his new friend. Truly, the CapCut brain rot has set in.
Whoa, where's he going? Where's he going? He's left me up here. No, I didn't realize he ran off. Bro, come back!
Though of the Gen Z trends, Joel seems to at least renounce the back rooms and make sure that at least this part of the between space of his cyberpunk city is decorated. It's still quite creepy that he decorated it into an indoors garden with artificial sky and lighting, and also XP Crafted's head stuck in a glass block for some reason. Calling this Grumbot core and weeping, really.
Very happy with this. I think it's very cute. I can't believe I've done another interior. Again, how do I keep doing this?
A different take on the floaty specimen comes with Cubfan135 and his new minigame Gasketball, which he helpfully points out is like basketball with ghasts. It is nothing like basketball. What the thematically solid arena is for is actually more like a randomized parkour course, the only permanent parts of which are the platform you start at and the 3 exits on the other side. If you reach the top one, you score 3 points. If you reach the middle, 2, and the bottom one is just 1 point. The players are meant to get there by gracefully floating on slow-falling potions, using the 16 Happy Ghasts roaming the arena as platforms to leap from. And for those that score highest, there's even a custom 3D trophy depicting a Ghast carrying the ball that's not present in the minigame in the slightest.
We need another guy in front, please, guys, come on! Yes, this guy, okay. I can make it. Oh, I missed the jump! No! Back.
The one man game enough to step on the court with Cub is Joe Hills, who is happy to receive some sideline coaching from Cubfan and also Cubfan.
That's it, team! Hustle back! Hustle back! You gotta hustle back. Yeah,
It yells at you when you sleep.
That's it, team! Hustle back! Hustle back! Yeah. If you're close to the benches, you'll get the coaches offering some advice. Yeah.
His first attempt at the score attack mode proves that this isn't exactly Space Jam despite the low gravity, but at least he's the first player to try it aside from its creator, so he sets the first high score by default. Playing against Cub himself, it's closer than you might expect, but the random movement of the Ghasts is hard to predict even without your opponent occasionally drawing them away with a snowball. The effect is basically the reverse of a foam pit in 2 directions. The foam either tries to descend on you from above, or it gets out of the way so you can break your legs on the floor below.
Come on. I almost...
Sports Day continues over on XB Crafted's channel, where he's invited over for a friendly tennis match by BOO, who has made a game that's a lot more like tennis, despite it involving ghast fireballs and a U-shaped playing field. In actual tennis, players receive a fine for destroying their equipment. In ghast tennis, they get a, it's fine, for destroying their equipment, the neighbouring hedges, and potentially any builds off in the distance.
Ooh, that was a nice one.
Oh.
My leaves! It's fine.
Yellow.
It's just the hedges. They're fine. Easily replaced.
XB moves on to an equally traditional but much less pompous game, Ender Pearl Golf. Although it would help if either of them understood golf, at least it's entertaining as always to see XB and Corrales fluke their way to a hole-in-one, fling themselves from skyscrapers, and argue over the rules.
Ooh.
Got it.
Oh. You just tell me. It's a friend.
No, we're playing by rules. So your rules, you don't help.
Oh, dang it.
At one point, XB even ends up in the back rooms, which is not a hazard typical of most golf courses, but for that matter, I'm pretty sure they're against you bringing a trident onto the green. Anyway, games and all, False Symmetry seems to have misunderstood what they meant by play Rust and just started building rusted down buildings all over the place.
Well, look, they've literally climbed in and jumped on my concrete machine. That's a first. That's a new one.
Across the river from her main base cylinder, False begins the construction of Rustlands, or as we like to call it, Tetanus Town. Obviously, waxed weathered copper blocks are involved, but since texturing and gradients have been a builder's tool for a while now, False is forced to expand the palette, and even builds with large amounts of ore blocks for a bit there. Much like me the day I first got Silk Touch on a pickaxe.
So, of course, close up it looks a little bit more bitty. Bitty's the way that I describe it. But from far away, I think it looks pretty darn cool.
A bit of a mystery with the new structure is the circular attachment to the side of it, because it feels like a helipad, but very obviously has a fan down the middle of it, despite looking much too thin for a turbine. Our current theory is it's a sort of helicopter shredder.
Now, I gotta say, this is my favourite part of most builds, trapdoors. Yeah, I may have added too many this season, but hey, they look good, okay?
We're beginning to suspect Vintage Beef has been underground for too long because he started to suggest worship of silverfish, which I guess makes a change from Ijevin suggesting worship of salverfish.
They're guarding the end portal, and the end portal is the whole idea of this stronghold. It's super, super important. So I figure people will probably be pretty into worshipping the silverfish.
Vintage Beef appreciates more than just the creepy crawlies he's exorcising from his converted stronghold. He appreciates fine art, and it's his turn to arrange his 5 selected fan art submissions onto the gallery walls and decorate the area however he chooses. The farmhouse palette from his starter house this season fits splendidly well in the modern surroundings, but he brings the whole farm aesthetic to the plot by laying a grassy path to walk around including crops and tall grass, a salmon pond in one corner, and rustic window awnings for some of the paintings. It's giving art installation more than art gallery, but it's definitely captured his Season 10 vibes. And finally there's Tango Tech, who has self-actualized, at least according to the Skizzleman Maslow's theory of needs hierarchy. The author of the next Tangler puzzle enters Skizzleman's Pyramid of Needs, and we have to specify this is just so when the new Tangler turns out to be too cruel, we all know whose fault it is.
Okay, we're never gonna get through here. I don't have the skill set.
After the adventure through the powdered snow maze, fox reproduction, and skeleton therapy, Tango Tech finds out a lot about himself, but mostly that he really likes when puzzles that can kill you have respawn checkpoints before them.
No checkpoint? No checkpoint! I gotta do all that business again!
Also that berry bushes can be used for food. You'd think the maker of both Decked Out minigames would already know that, but here we are.
Get your fill of berries, but don't break them, okay? Yeah, okay, eating berries. Good thing I read. I read so much.
Regardless, having made it out of the top of the therapy triangle, Tango indeed comes back to building the Tangler, his multiplayer puzzle room. Not much else he can do, what with hungry hermits on the fritz ever since the update. Fret not, the starving servermates will get their dose of rats in the room too, because that's exactly what Tango is adding, more rats and rat mechanics. Indeed, now that room 1 of the Tangulator has been revised from a brutal freezer into a haunted hotel lobby, room 2 is being built into the least efficient kelp block farm that the players will have to force to make kelp blocks. There's upgrades and asymmetric multiplayer even, but most importantly, there's rats.
Occasionally, rats are gonna start to fall through the cobwebs, and if you want to sacrifice your time, pro tip, you do, you can save your teammate from the pain and agony of having to deal with rats.
And that's about it for this week's recap. Our writer is SloyXP, and my name is Pixel Riffs. Captions on this video were provided by Liara. Don't forget to leave a like while you're still here and subscribe so you won't miss future recaps. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.